Prem Namaste, Vanakkam and a warm welcome to Sadhana, the Inward Path, right here on SABC3. Vastu Shastra, or the science of architecture, is a traditional Hindu system of architecture. It is believed that direction and proper placement of a building and its components help eliminate negative forces and in fact enhance positive energies that are associated with abundance and prosperity. Today on Sadhana, we feature an enthusiastic Vastu Shastra architect, Naresh Prag from Port Elizabeth, who has implemented Vastu practices in temples and homes in and around the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. He shares with us his own unique approach to implementing this ancient Hindu practice in modern times.
Welcome to this space. My name is Naresh Ishwalal Prag from this area, born in Uitenhage, which is a suburb of Port Elizabeth, which is part of the Nelson Mandela Metropole. I'm a Vastu Shastra architect, so I use Vastu Shastra in the work in every part of every project that I do. I'll show you others. This is my own personal space, my home. I was past here, we never allowed to live here before in my young life, and we always wished to be here, so I chose to be here. I chose it 11th floor because my mum raised me being devoted to Krishna, and the favorite fast which I follow religiously is Ekadasi, 11, and this apartment is on the 11th floor. 11 and the third corner apartment, it's a corner apartment, it's 1103. And I like the number 2, and I like the space, and I loved it for many years. For more than 20 years, I wished this space. The owner, she always promised that she'll sell it to me, and she did. When the time was right, then it came to me. This apartment is on completion, and what I did from start was the first thing I built, and I'm still working as the last thing I do, is my shrine. It is central to the whole space. It is in the heart of the apartment. According to Vastu, it needs to put God in the middle. There's a demon, and that's what Vastu is based on, who says he will destroy everything that is unnatural, which is placed on nature, unless you only respect God if you have God in the middle of your space. And that is what I've done here. There are 2 schools of thought. One is a private temple and one is in the middle. And this is the school of thought that in Vastu, it's right in the middle, and it is there for everyone to see, but with privacy. In my home, the center of our apartment is where God resides. It's his room. And that's the basis of Vastu. There's a lot happening in design, and we're going to go through the different aspects. But first and foremost is when you enter. When I greeted you, you had come and Krishna greets you. To me, the temple or any structure, the mandir, is a murti. That is God. First to be, as I said, when you enter, you are welcomed. So your God is welcoming you with his hands. You'll see the thumb, okay, and the 5 fingers doing that. and both sides. Same here, and he'll do that. There will be two levers will sit on the palms. So it's welcoming when you're coming from the front to this side. There are two entrances to this apartment. From this side is a spiritual entry. You'll come in, you'll be welcomed like that, and you will see this. That is the first welcome, because every visitor is God that enters here. So we need to be welcomed and honored. And with this is the scallops, which is a cantilevered scallop. I need to show you this feature. This feature is to get the effect of when you switch the light on, you get this. This is the enlightened one, and you'll see the Buddha in it. The Buddha is termed as the enlightened one, and only when you switch on the light, you'll see the 3D Buddha. We were at the east elevation. Now I've brought you around to the west elevation. This is the west elevation. From here, there's the window we talked of. I needed to have, when I come through from my bedrooms into my bathrooms, and in the morning when I come through, we need to see the temple. You see it from every aspect. So you see it from this end, and you'll see a very modern corner window, as I talked to from the other end, and the light, which is up and down light, in a shape that actually lines up with the robes of the Buddha, which actually is the curtain, which actually comes through and lines up in the shape, comes to a point and ends here, and then it lights down as well as up into the flower, which that is the lotus flower. Also, it is the Namaste in the more simpler form as the one on the east, because this is west. This is the west elevation. The east elevation is more ornate, it's more simple, but it has, within that simplicity, it has the evil. So we do not forget our heritage and our culture. I've included that in this side. This is the void, which is next to the temple, and you'll see that same window, that bay window, and it is a buffer. The temple should not be next to a room or a bathroom or anything, so we have that. You can store your puja items, some lentils, some rice, things as well. Not a pantry, but things like that can go there. So, but it is a free space that is not connected with any room, and thereafter the room start. That is going to the maximum. You could be next to a room that is not a bedroom, but I needed to do this for me to know that I'm doing it, that the temple does not touch any room, and the buffer touches my study. Not even a bedroom, so, or not even a bathroom. So, and thereafter will other rooms follow. The kitchen, ordinarily, the hob and cooking's on this end, up against the wall. I've had it here facing to northeast, which is good Vastu, and then take it one step further. We needed well for comfort and for various other things, especially looking at the ocean. I thought this would be the right spot, but more than that, it could have been at any point. The positioning right here is, most importantly, is that when you're cooking for God, and under His view and under His supervision, you're cooking for Him, is what we are doing right here with full view of the temple. So you're cooking, and you create, that makes it prasadam, which is going to be offered, but it's cooked under His supervision, so it's in direct view. If you are standing here, direct view of the temple, and that's the connection with East, view, doing it practical. You need to cook somewhere as well as have a connection with the temple, so you can have it all. You can pretty much, by thinking and planning it, you can pretty much satisfy all the requirements and do it and get to that. And that's what I achieved here at this position. The 4 points that I highlight is space, God, view, light. God is light, space, and positioning. And that is what position is. So within this, you try to achieve all of those criteria and be in comfort. There's nothing to say that you should not be comfortable doing that. You need to be comfort. You'll be eating right here with view of that as well, and be within that and creating light and creating all of the light, culminating in creating the prasadam that you are happy to be here. And it is creating the energies of positive energies for what you're cooking, because what you're cooking is what you're going to go inside of you. And that is why one tries to satisfy those criterias and do it for your maker, and be in full view and be in connection with, that's your favorite person, that's your favorite God, and that is what you need to do, and that is what you need, or for me, that is what I feel, just talking about myself, that is what I need to be done to satisfy me, to make me happy, and create the positive energy that I can pass on to the person that meets me. The theme is same, but the design is always changing. But you're going to say, "Oh, but this is different." That's different because we need to be unique. I don't do repetitive. Every project is site specific because we respect the site where it is and design around nature. Also, the practicalities, the nice stuff. It's a home. You want it to be comfortable, practical. That is why you need a new home. That is why you choose to build a home, so you want to use those aspects. I needed sunrise, sunset to be around, wrap around, and give all the energies to the home. So the sun rises at this end, sun sets at the other end, and the floor, I've aligned the floor up with the sunrise and sunset, and that's why it's going diagonally across through from the front door. So from the back to the sunrise, it flows into the bedrooms, and in the evenings from the bedroom wing through the entrance hall back into this space. So it's always interconnected. Heart of it here, the temple is in the heart again, and facing east, as always, connected with the kitchen. The connection between the prayer and the prasad, the cooking, the prasad rooms are together and they're linked, and they in conjunction are the important, because it's into the mind and into you need to be fed and sustained by your food, and that's where the connection between temple room and the which is this side, and connecting into the kitchen, and then also having the social connection of space into the living space, so that everybody, the guests or the other half, family and children, would be all over, and you'll still be connected. But volume, we're eating here, and I thought the rest of the seating will be flat. When you're eating, that is praying as well. You need the height, so it goes up and it rises, so it elevates you when you're eating. There's a window up there bringing light in. Is enough lighting wrap around, but we wanted another dimension of light coming in, apart from wrap around, coming in from higher up. It's going right, it flows right into the kitchen early morning, and that's when you want the energy, and the east light comes through. It has a different technology of roof, where the structure is in Vastu, I say, you do not want too much steel or any steel in the structure above, and that's what here they're actually laying in, and they dovetailed and interlocked where there's no steel holding, connecting up, but dovetailing all the wooden beams to have this. So we have a metal-free, bolt-free construction on this with interlocking of a beam. You're coming in from the living areas, kitchen, living areas, temple areas, and you're coming down a passage. Passages are necessary to get you from A to B. With angles and intelligent design of flow, they're made shorter, compact, they don't feel long and drawn, so you rejuvenate it. It doesn't have a long line going through, and then the passages are at strategic points are widened and opened up like a super highway, and you're coming in angled and you flowed, and be it going past bathrooms to other bedrooms, and when you get to the master bedroom, which is here, it becomes larger because that's a central point. From here you can view back to the temple. The first thing you see when you come out of the bedroom, you see the temple. And so you have that connection. You have connection with where the rest of the family is sleeping, and you can come because that's the master suite. So that's the connection with a large home, but yet having the intimate spaces connected, for however still being private. So here, what we have is a home that is flowing, a home that has light, that is a connectivity, flow of energies, connecting from one place to another, shortening distances, collectively having various aspects of modern life, having private bedrooms, having more bedrooms, having lobbies, yet not becoming complex in such a way, but instead using those and creating it into practical, easy movement, easy flow areas. Happy, healthy spaces. You need to be healthy, and this brings in the positive energies through doing certain things to make it a happy space, to make it harmonious with nature, and using all those elements and aspects and combining them into creating a home that functions, because form follows function, and that's a term where it must be function first and not the other way around. So form follows function, so one has to have that as the basis, but create something that is unique, and that is what achieved here. You're coming into the place of rest, application. It must be boring, it creates interest, so you're looking forward to going home. Yeah. Welcome to this space, to the place of worship, which is the Utnaik Hindu Mandir. As a student, I designed this. I went to India. I'm always connected with the ISKCON movement, and I went to study Vastu Shastra in Mayapur. This building that I designed is taking the knowledge and designing and building individual, because we each are individuals, so creating the space and designing something that is from me, that resonates out of me and what I understand, what I grew up with, and my interpretation of Vastu Shastra. The entrance is the dome tower. To me, as much as the murtis, everything is God. Everything the building itself, the mandir, the Utnak Hindu mandir to me, is also guarded. It's also a murti. And we enter through Godhead, the round window and door opens, double door folds open, and you're going into the mouth of the Lord, because we wish to be in His breath, to have the to be in His breath that's our wish, to be in tip of His tongue. And so we enter through the mouth. Also, it is also the circle is also the sun, the Surya Graha, the sun god. It faces true east on an east to west axis, and that is why it's angled to face that like a compass, facing directly. So you enter in and you will go straight through to the altar. You'll see straight through in one direction. So the sun rises in the east and comes around north all along and sets in the west. It's also the head, the eyes, the nose of God, and that's the mouth, and that's what it's facing. That's what we are entering the Godhead. It has the two gatehouses, which is the boardroom on the right, and on the left it is the multi-purpose room. It is actually the hugging, as I explained, is doing this, and God is hugging you. He's not only reaching out, but He's actually come at home. He reaches out to you. Here He's holding you, holding the whole community, and that's what happens there. You'll see the curvature. The pillars go down, there they go down 2 meters down into the ground, a door height below the ground. For now, those two voids have been filled. It goes down as a pond, and below it, it's connected, and that stairs is a bridge. This signifies the leaving from the material world, purifying yourself, going over a bridge into spiritual world. If the design philosophy on this was Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, there's always three things, three aspects that we address, and here symbolize the three. So the three here is the red brick, which is standing proud of the beige, and then you'll see there's instead of carving, which is what is ideal in India, but we're in South Africa, so instead of carving, I did corbel. So we corbel and it steps back and steps out. Then it reaches, and then I have a concrete beam running across in plaster. So there's three things. There's the red brick, the beige brick, and the plaster. And what happens to the center of this arch? What happens there? Where the red brick, the beige brick, the corbelling of the beige brick, and the plaster. What happens there? As a nail hits up against the wall, what happens there? Everything goes one. It becomes one. And that is what we are achieving here, is getting unity of oneness. Outside, it's actually standing at an angle because it faces true east, but inside it is, because it is the equilibrium of the design that's giving you the balance, and because it is in the right space at the right time, at the right view and the right direction.